A few weeks ago, we were out at Quality Plants visiting with Gary Seitz and taking a look around at his greenhouse and many of the things he has going there. And out of the corner of my eye, I caught a really interesting and unusual looking plant. I asked Gary about it, and he said it was called a century plant, that it will bloom once every 100 years. Well, I was reminded that we're really getting a big start on Oklahoma State University's centennial celebration. In fact, the kickoff for that was December the 8th back in Stillwater, and we'll be going through a series of events and activities celebrating our 100th year anniversary. And so it just seemed fitting to talk about the century plant at that time. And Gary, this is really unusual and interesting. Tell me what you know about this plant.
Well, we've had it for a long time, of course.
Not 100 years, though.
No, I haven't been here that long. But it does slowly set its flower bud and send up its flower stalk like any flowering plant. But this plant, after it does its flowering, it dies.
So it gives everything it has into making that flowering stalk, and then that's all there is to it.
As you can see in here, usually these fat, thick leaves have got a shrunken appearance and a small narrowing of the leaves, wrinkling up. It's putting all the energy of these leaves into this flower.
That's really woody sounding. It sounds like you're knocking on a door. So it's really put a lot of energy into making that.
I've never seen anything like this before. We cut some flowers off of it so that we could hold those, and they are no petals. They're just a very simple flower with stamens and the anthers, the pistils, but there are no petals. So this plant doesn't think petals are necessary.
And this is really a succulent plant that would grow in a desert area.
Very dry and low humidity. But see, although this one mother plant dies after she flowers, in the meantime, she has sent up around in the root system pups that have grown up.
I see. So this is how it will reproduce then. It will reproduce by these little, as you say, pups.
Pups or young plantlets. And then we've cut
You've been cutting some off. Yeah, here's one that I guess it's a baby of this, and it looks like it's a baby that only a mother could love.
I agree.
But,
the agave has a very sharp point, and you want to be careful around kids and such. That's very dangerous, I think. But it's a neat plant. It has a nice character to it. It has some uniqueness to it. It's very, if people overwater things, they can hurt these plants. But if you're someone that does well with cactus, this would fit in just right.
And I'm really intrigued too by the growth habit in the form of this, the way that the flower stalks have come out in such a uniform, even pattern, and the distribution up and down this central leader here. I think it's just a really interesting plant.
So in another 100 years, this one would flower, and then we'd be celebrating our second 100th anniversary.
That's right, whatever that's called. But
bicentennial.
Bicentennial, perhaps. I'm just really intrigued by this. I doubt that very many of us will be around to watch this one flower.
Much less.
And who knows where this one first got its start. But I really appreciate you sharing this information with us, because I think it's kind of a unique opportunity to get a shot of a plant that flowers only once after 100 years, and then it dies.
Yeah. Thanks for coming out.
Thanks, Gary.